Well, hello. Welcome to my smoking hot kitchen. I'm about to cook a ribeye and I've got just a little bit of residue that's burning off in my grill pan. And actually, this is just what I want. I've already started heating my pan and I've got it on a good medium high to high heat. If you're going to err on the side of high, because with this steak, we're going to sear it and cook it off in the oven. Now, this is a gorgeous ribeye. I got this from JBW Farm Fresh. They're here in the Wiregrass, and I love their beef products. This is a grass-fed and finished beef, and a lot of people say that the grass-fed and finished doesn't have a lot of marbling, but I want you to look at the marbling in this steak. It's absolutely beautiful. Now, most of the time when you get them from the grocery store, they've trimmed this outer edge of fat, but I'm so glad that JBW Farm Fresh leaves that on here because it's flavor. I want to cook it with the fat. You may not want to eat it, but you can cut it off at the end. But by all means, the more fat, the better it's going to sear and cook. I love a good steak cooked on the grill, but when you cook it the way I'm about to show you, you're going to accomplish that grill flavor right in your own kitchen. Who wants to deal with 90-degree weather right now? And it's been raining up a storm here in the Wiregrass. Now, I'm adding a little bit of salt to this, and I'm also adding some of this Sure Shot Sid's seasoning. This is a coffee seasoning, and don't let the word coffee turn you off. I was hesitant to try this in the beginning because I love coffee, but I don't want to eat coffee granules. I've never been a fan of those espresso beans that have the coffee grinds in them. Yuck, I don't want to eat coffee grounds. But this is so mild and the grounds disintegrate. So they call it coffee, but it's not a dominant coffee seasoning. And I will tell you, it's the perfect thing to season any type of protein with. Now, I'm going to liberally put this on here. And you noticed I add salt. There's not a lot of salt going on here in this seasoning. So I always add just a little bit because I like some salt on my ribeye. Now I'm going to flip this over, and by the way, I did dry this off really well with paper towels. You want to get your steak as dry as you possibly can. Another thing I like about this seasoning is that it sears up really quickly and gets that just crunchy texture that you want on your steak. Now, you don't have to use this, obviously. It's available in most grocery stores, but by all means, season your steak the way you like it. But if you don't have a favorite seasoning, grab some of this. It's delicious. Now, I am going to put my steak bottom side down because the seasoning has already been pressed in. And woo-wee. Now I'm going to let this sear for about 2 minutes. And like I said, I have it on a good medium-high heat. Don't mess with it. That's the hardest part. Let it be. Because if you try to lift this steak right now, it's going to stick to your pan because there's no oil in this. If you add oil, it's going to add a lot of smoke. And we don't want more smoke than we already have. And there's enough fat in the steak to lift it once that meat finishes searing. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Now I'm just going to lay it kind of catty-cornered. That way I create those nice crisscross designs that you see on your perfectly grilled steak. It already smells so good in this kitchen. Let's lift it up. Oh, look at that. That is just beautiful. Look at how it sears up. Listen, this seasoning just is so good for searing. Now, I'm going to repeat the process on this side. And I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees. Once this is finished searing on the other side, I'm gonna pop this in the oven for 4 to 5 minutes. I like a really good medium rare steak, more on the rare side. Cook it according to the doneness that you like. For a more medium steak, go 6 to 8 minutes. And this is ready to go in the oven. Now, hang on, this is going in the oven, but I'm gonna show you how to finish this steak off with a delicious sauce. My steak is sizzling in the oven. I've got my timer set. It's got about 3 more minutes to go. And in the meantime, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious steak sauce. Now, there is a famous steakhouse here in Dothan that we all love. It's been around for generations, and they serve a sauce that is spectacular, to say the least. And I've created something that I feel like is pretty much their recipe. Now, I'm starting with Lee & Perrins. Now, the recipe is going to vary just a little bit depending upon how many steaks you're cooking. Since this one is just for my husband and I'm only going to make a little bit of sauce. I've got 1 part Lee & Perrins steak sauce, 1 part soy sauce, and maple syrup. Now, a lot of people use brown sugar, and you can use brown sugar, but the maple syrup gives this sauce a fabulous flavor. And it's so good. Now, I'm going to mix this together, and I'm going to give it a little taste test just to make sure that I got it right. Every single time. Now, I'm gonna let this sit. My steak is about ready to come out of the oven. I'm gonna get this put up. And there we go, it's time. Will you look at this beautiful steak? Oh, if you ordered this at a restaurant, this would be that $50 steak that's on the menu. And I guarantee you it won't taste any better than what we're making right here. Now, it's really important to let this steak rest. Those juices have got to redistribute and settle in. But while it's doing that, I am going to pour this steak sauce right over the top. And now I've got a piece of tin foil, and I'm gonna let this rest for about 8 to 10 minutes. The waiting is the hardest part. Just leave it in your pan. If you feel like you've overcooked it, remove it from the pan and go ahead and plate it up. But I can tell by looking at this, this is going to be that perfect medium rare that we're looking for. It's going to be good. Look at this perfect steak. I can hardly wait to try this. Now, this steak is going to feed my husband and I both. We love to share a good ribeye, and more than likely there might be leftovers for a ribeye sandwich. Now let me cut into this. You want to cut on the bye. Just slant your knife a little bit, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that on our steak. Now, oh, y'all, this is spectacular. This is steakhouse worthy steak. Simple, done in less than 15 minutes. Best steak you'll ever have, hands down. And don't forget, this right here is liquid gold. You're a blessing to me. Thanks so much for watching. Will you press that like button and share this video with your friends? Also, follow Kathy's Southern Kitchen on Facebook and YouTube. Well, I'm gonna slice up the rest of this steak. And did I say that there were going to be leftovers? Not sure about that this time. I'll see you next time. Bye.